Hello, my name is Julia and I am here with Emma and Michaela. We welcome you to our presentation on the nature and purpose of religious education in the Brisbane Archdiocese. We will begin the presentation by discussing the approach to religious education in schools before moving to an in-depth analysis of the feature weekly time allocation from the Brisbane Catholic Education, also known as BCE's, guiding document, The Shape of Religious Education. Despite all graduating from Catholic schools, our group was unaware of how the religion curriculum influences all aspects of everyday life. This assignment has strengthened our understanding of the research and theories underpinning religious education. Within Queensland, the Archdiocese of Brisbane spans a vast geographical area, creating a faithful community which allows God's work, word, and people to be present in everyday life. BCE is just one of 5 educational organisations at the forefront of the diocese, delivering a high-quality, Christ-centred education that supports and nurtures the lives of young individuals from P to 12 across 140 schools. Teaching and learning within BCE schools is a holistic approach that fosters the development of the whole child so that they may participate critically in faith and global contexts and live openly and authentically in the gospel of Jesus Christ. In BCE schools, religious education is considered a formal teaching and learning area that requires the same curriculum demands as other disciplines. It is BCE's vision to support students' faith formation and their religious literacy, regardless of their religious backgrounds, developing their knowledge, skills, and dispositions to critically think, interpret, seek truth, and make meaning in regard to the Catholic Christian tradition. Underpinning the approach to religious education adopted by BCE schools, theorist and scholar Gabriel Moran posits 2 distinct but interconnected processes or dimensions of religious education: teaching people religion and teaching people to be religious in a particular way. Dimension 1, teaching people religion, is recognised by BCE as the classroom teaching and learning of religion reflected in the religion curriculum P to 12. Comparatively, Dimension 2, teaching people to be religious in a particular way, refers to the religious life and Catholic Christian ethos of the school community, expressed through the religious life of the school P to 12. This approach has its foundations in the Vatican Council's 1965 Declaration on Christian Education, proclaiming that schools are devoted to the Christian formation of students through engaging them in the distinct but complementary dimensions of religious instruction and catechesis. Moran's separation distinguishes the intellectual rigor of the classroom, which instills conceptual knowledge and understanding of religion, and a community of faith formation and enculturation paradigm that flourishes within the parish, the family, and the school. Whilst it is important to recognise that one dimension may take precedence at a specific time during student learning, the 2 processes indirectly depend on each other. Understanding this distinction allows the 2 dimensions to be united in a more careful and intelligent way, providing a holistic education that supports students' academic excellence and faith formation to be cultural agents in the light of the gospel and witnesses to the mission of Jesus Christ.
The first dimension, teaching people religion, is reflected through the classroom teaching and learning of religion. Moran defines this as the ability to understand. As religion is an integral part of human experience, influencing the world both culturally and politically, students have an entitlement to develop deep knowledge, understanding, and skills, irrespective of their beliefs. BCE schools achieve this through the religion curriculum P to 12, which is organised into 4 interrelated strands, namely sacred texts, beliefs, church, and Christian life. Each strand is broken down into further sub-strands, encompassing its own body of knowledge that deepens students' understanding of concepts relating to Catholicism, other world religions, and secular perspectives. Teaching people religion means comprehensively understanding the way in which religious people act and their past and present impact on the world. Students are taught to be religious agents who cognitively understand the relationships between religion and society, strengthening their knowledge, attitudes, and belief of the Catholic Christian tradition. Thus, the classroom must not be a place of transferred knowledge and facts, but rather a room of open and authentic dialogue that enables the appreciation and deep cultural understanding of religion. Moran's second dimension is teaching people to be religious in a particular way. Moran proclaims that teaching people to be religious is a lifelong process, viewing family and the parish as positive contexts for religious and moral development that deepens students' understanding and the better practice of the Catholic Christian tradition. Despite this, Catholic schools have and must play a specific role in strengthening catechesis or handing on of the gospel message. BCE recognises this dimension as the religious life of the school P to 12, broken down into 4 interrelated components, namely religious identity and culture, evangelization and faith formation, prayer and worship, and social action and justice. The religious life of the Catholic school aims to enrich and nurture the religious development of students through prayer, faith formation, celebration of liturgy and sacraments, and social justice activities. The components, whilst mutually reinforcing positive extensive focus on distinctive aspects of a school's religious life. For example, religious identity and culture is the extent to which the church is present in the school and the school is present in the church. Through developing a school's ethos and charism, building an authentic Christian community, and creating a sense of sacred maximizes religious and spiritual formation for all students. Catholic schools are therefore places of evangelization, enabling holistic formation of the students to live in and engage with their present and future world with faith, hope, and love. By engaging in this process, students are supported on a path of integrating faith into their life, growing in understanding and experience that they are unconditionally loved by God.
The nature and purpose of religious education in BCE schools is communicated in the model of religious education. The Venn diagram displays Moran's distinct but interconnected processes, ultimately relying on each other to deliver a comprehensive religious education that is committed to students' religious literacy and faith formation. As a group, we have generated a graphic that communicates our own interpretation of the BCE model. Just like the roots of a tree, teaching people religion and teaching people to be religious in a particular way is foundational to providing a holistic education that supports students' academic excellence and faith formation. The words written on the trunk represent the frameworks that foster student learning, developing their religious knowledge, skills, and dispositions. The blossoming apples on the tree represent the vision for religious education, challenging students to be cultural agents in the light of the gospel and witnesses to the mission of Jesus Christ. The intentional choice of words for each apple expresses just some outcomes of student engagement within both dimensions of religious education. By immersing students in an effective religious education program that is responsive to these dimensions, significantly contributes to the goals outlined in the Enbanchway Declaration, thereby developing and promoting their physical, social, spiritual, aesthetic, moral, and intellectual well-being.
Brisbane Catholic Education, also known as BCE, have outlined the school administrative priorities for religious education to support both dimensions of religious education, the classroom learning and teaching of religion, and the religious life of the school. There are multiple administrative priorities that all schools must address to deliver high-quality religious education for all students. Time allocation for teaching religion is a requirement that all BC schools must adhere to. It is expected that a minimum of 2.5 hours per week of religion teaching is provided in both secondary and primary schools. When examining this yearly, this is equivalent to only 92 to around 100 hours per year. This timer allocation ensures that students not only learn religion, but they are also engaged in practices that support religious identity and formation. This approach, as illustrated by Moran, emphasizes both teaching people religion, which is the academic understanding of sacred texts, beliefs, church, and the Christian life, and teaching people to be religious, which is applying faith in their daily life routines, moral decision-making, and participation in Catholic traditions. Moran highlights the interconnection between teaching people religion and teaching people to be religious. With a dedicated weekly allocation time, we can effectively demonstrate both models of religious education by supporting students to develop a deeper understanding of religious practices and to help them implementing these into their daily life routines. Moran emphasizes that if religious curriculum is not challenged enough, their faith and spirituality is not developed, which ultimately hinders their understanding and engagement with Catholic teachings in society. For students to experience and understand the characteristics and practices of each Christian denomination and the relationship between various Christian churches, principals must prioritize the effective timetabling of religious studies in the classroom. When we consider this feature through the lens of the Catholic identity, the structured time provides students with the opportunity to be actively engaged with Christian values and beliefs, which ultimately enables them to incorporate these principles into their daily lives. It ensures that schools transform into environments where Catholic teachings are deeply integrated into not only the academic side of social aspects of students' lives, but reinforces the BC vision for religious education. Furthermore, it guarantees that all students receive high-grade faith education and guarantees that religious education remains an essential part of the curriculum, rather than it being an optional activity with no meaning. Time allocation allows students to experience and develop a lived understanding that shapes their identity and deepens their comprehension of faith within a modern context. The implementation of this feature reflects the vision for religious education while addressing the contemporary contexts in which high-quality religious education is made accessible to school-age students. This emphasizes the core values and messages of Christianity. By prioritizing time allocations, students sustain their mission to provide high-quality religious education, fostering students' spiritual, ethical, and intellectual development.